This round of technology advancement is moving at a faster pace than ever. ChatGPT came out and hit like 100 million users in no time, and now ChatGPT has over 1 billion users. The rate of acceleration, both on the innovation side, but also on the adoption side, right? But it created a virtuous cycle. And you've seen the numbers.
Yeah.
It is crazy, right? I don't know what's going to happen next year because the rate of acceleration is still picking up speed.
We are here live in Nashville at the Create Conference, and I am joined by none other than Maria Zhang. I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
So you and I both, along with National Restaurant News, I think we might be the single largest AI study in restaurants ever done.
Yep.
It's an exciting time. So I was excited to get to finally sit down and talk with you.
Yes, absolutely.
So first off, I wanted to tell you a story. My co-founder Osa comes from the technology world. He did his time in Silicon Valley. He's like a true programmer. It took me 9 months to convince this man that restaurant technology was as far behind as it is. It's like, we're putting computer chips in people's brains. There's no way that restaurants are still operating on pen and paper. And after 9 months, I finally convinced him of the fact. You are a true technology person that's, run engineering at some of the biggest companies. Google. Yeah, run me through the list.
Meta, Microsoft. Yeah. So I did my tour of duty at the very successful and very well run big tech companies. But I also was a founder. Started a company in 2010 and sold that one to Yahoo in 2013. And guess what? My last startup, Alike, was also centered around its local discovery, but help consumers find restaurants and so forth. And so there is that, connectivity there. I think it is a lifelong passion around food, around hospitality. So it didn't take me 9 months. I think I was already there.
All right. So for all of us that, come from the restaurant world, we didn't spend any time in Silicon Valley. Is Silicon Valley more like the show Silicon Valley, or is it more like watching Succession? Like, is it a serious place? What's it like there?
Yeah, it's neither. It's definitely not as glamorous as Succession. I did enjoy watching the show Silicon Valley. I think it's a little bit outdated. I think now in 2025 is a different vibe than what was portrayed in the show, but both are great shows. It's not as dramatic.
Yeah.
It's actually in a way not that different than the restaurant industry. Coming from the restaurant industry, you all know the long hours, right? And so when I talk with a restaurant owner operator, when I say long, I could totally relate, right? I also, as an engineer, as a coder, as all the engineers on my team, we also put in a lot of hours to line by line write that code, write the test cases, and so it's not that different. It's hard work, dedication, and passion. Yeah.
What's the FANG stocks? How many of the letters were you in?
I know,
there?
right?
you checked all the boxes there.
Yeah.
What's it like, walking into like Mark Zuckerberg's office and having to sit down and say, we need to launch this product? I mean, what is that something you ever got to do? What was it like?
Yeah, I've been to a few meetings. A very high standard company in terms of execution and dedication. We always have pressing deadlines and very aggressive objectives. And also with a company that large, there's a lot of complexity, right? Global operation, privacy, and user safety, and also just operating with a very large team with tens of thousands of people. There's also a lot of kind of people side of challenges.
Well, that's the crazy one. You're taking tens of thousands of the smartest people, all working on some of the most complex problems for the longest hours. Like that, that's almost Wall Street. It doesn't happen every day. How much of it is about pushing the envelope versus engineers creatively just solving whatever problems they can? It's a weirdly worded question.
Yeah, I think for a company that large, it's more about the processes. Yeah, so they all have a very well-defined set of processes, right? So in a way, the processes are in place to prevent an individual to make a catastrophic mistake. But at the same time, it probably removes some of the freedom to create, or you've got to follow, these set of processes.
How big was the engineering team underneath you?
I've managed very large teams.
You ran Tinder at one point, right?
Yeah, I was CTO at Tinder. When I joined Tinder, Tinder was a small company in West Hollywood. And then during my tenure there, we opened up an office in Silicon Valley, and the team has grown a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's still a relatively small team, a highly productive team.
When you started at Tinder, did you have to set up an actual profile and try it out, or is it?
We have a lot of testing accounts.
A lot of testing accounts, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, so I was told this, early on when we started ClearCOGS, that back in the 90s, all the great programmers went off to Silicon Valley, and that kind of the B players, went off to some other industries, healthcare, and restaurants ended up with the C+ programmers, and C+, but C programmers building not great technology. And as an industry, we're probably 20 years behind on technology. So you've got such a unique perspective coming from, the cutting edge to restaurants. What's that been like? And more importantly, why did you choose to do it?
Yeah, that's a very provocative question. I don't share the same perspective, but I'm also not in the restaurant tech industry. So we have been this company, we started in 2024, so we've been around for a year. And I think as recent as June this year, we actually launched the set of AI solutions for restaurants.
Walk me through. What are you guys doing? What's the name of the company? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the name of the company is Polona, and it's
not
like
Paloma,
the cocktail Paloma with the M spelled as N.
I called it the Paloma forever. Just because I was thinking.
Yeah, but that's fine. I actually like it because when you auto spell,
it's a good association.
I know. I was like, time for cocktails. Let's go. Yeah, and Paloma is our official company cocktail, of course. Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name?
Yeah, the name is it's an exercise, or you have to check trademark availability. How we came up with
people ask about ClearCOGS. It's like the domain was available and it was SEO friendly.
Yeah, it's a great name. Yeah, but we did want to create a fanciful name, right? Kind of like Tinder, like Zillow, like we can give meaning to a new word. And we started the company as a research laboratory. It was called Proactive AI Lab, and the acronym is PAL, P-A-L. So we have a lot of PAL mono, we have a lot of code base and so forth. It's acronym PAL, and then we kind of wanted to give a nod to the origin of the company, the continuity, and we created the name Polona. Yeah, I like the name.
I do too.
Thank you.
It's memorable.
Yeah. And it's association. It's a positive association.
All right. So you come out of the cutting edge tech and you decide you're going to start a proactive AI research lab.
Yeah.
There's a big gap there between starting a lab and then going into restaurant technology. Yeah. Walk me through the story.
Yeah. Because we want to deliver a real solution and a real business impact and value, right? And AI is widely applicable in many industries, right? Yeah. From healthcare to legal to e-commerce. But it is a shared passion the entire company share that we think the restaurant industry deserves help, technology, and empowerment, right? And so the joke was, they're like, probably 100 startups helping lawyers crafting documents and so forth, because it's very native to the technology. ChatGPT is a large language model, and if you're a lawyer, you're mostly just dealing with words day in, day out.
Yeah.
So that is very adjacent. And then if I ask my teams, do we want to help lawyers who want to restaurant?
More importantly,
They're like,
we don't want to help more lawyers. Let's help
that's not the
restaurant
point.
people.
Yes. No offense to lawyers. Lawyers are great, but there's so many startups trying to help lawyers, which is great, right? But we followed our passion, our pursuit. I share this on my social media profile. Actually, I'm a half decent home cook. I love cooking.
Oh.
This is my language of love and appreciation. I love hospitality.
What's your favorite dish? What's your go-to?
For hosting people at home, I like to make dumplings.
Oh.
Yeah, I can make the dough from scratch.
Do
and
you
the fillings.
really?
Yes, and so it's kind of a little party where everybody can participate. We can all roll fold it together. It's a great experience. I have so many great memories.
That is totally. I'm with you. I always do a Greek, and I love making the naan bread.
Mm-hmm.
And people can roll out their naan. We throw it in. It's a collaborative experience.
Yeah, and of course, it's dumplings are food for New Year's celebration. Yeah, so it's also kind of it comes with all the good wishes, right? You can fold in the dumpling and then eat it.
So I'm not going to totally buy that one of Silicon Valley's elites really likes dumplings, so they started an AI company in the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a missing connection there.
Yeah.
When you first started, take me back to the AI labs, proactive AI. Mm-hmm. Were you guys developing technology and looking for where do I put that technology? Mm-hmm. Or were you looking for problems and then trying to figure out solutions for them? Was it tech driven or is it problem driven?
It's both. I want to add a little bit more color to the technology we're building, right? So we're going back to lawyers are producing documents that's a text-based, right? So that is a single modality problem space and a single modality solution. What we wanted to build, right, from day one is we want to build full modality solution, meaning the AI can see, can hear, can visualize, can produce graphics, and can even, down the road can understand taste and smell, right? Modality is sensories, right? Modality matches to our sensories. I just was published earlier this week on Forbes. I wrote an article, when you build technology, you have to think about all the modalities. And it's not just words, it's not just the screen, right? Despite the success of Tinder and Instagram, those are great products I work on. It's very centered around the screen. But for the next generation of technology, empowered by these, very large models and the generative AI capabilities, right? We really believe in building full modality solution, but then that's not really applicable in the legal space because it's just centered around text. Going to the restaurant space, the dining experience when you go eat at a restaurant, and you used to run a restaurant, it is a full modality experience, right? You see, you hear, you touch the texture, the music is curated, the fork and the knife, the napkin, everything need to feel nice. Of course, it needs to taste great, right? And when we do the champagne glasses, right, that's the sound. And then they say, oh, this is a high-end champagne. They sound nicer than the cheap ones, right? Yeah, so that is why there's a perfect match of a bunch of AI scientists and engineers who want to push the boundary of build a full modality experience in the industry who's always been anchored with the full modality experience. So there's a perfect match there. And then the other element is, it sounds a little bit weird, but we know how hard it is. We didn't come in from ignorance. We know how complex this business is. I've talked with, at this point, over 100 restaurant operators, right? The human elements, the real estate, the finance, what your product helps with.
And it's dynamic. Things are changing constantly.
Food safety, and there's just so much headwind, right? And the consumers are picky, right? Oh, the third parties are taking away the profit margin. They're just so many very challenging problems. There's so much complexity that we love complexity, right? We're a group of people who are masochists or something. Was like, oh, complex problem, let's go. Yeah.
Well, I want to get into the complexity, but first I just want to say, if somebody's going to build the Terminator, I'm hoping it's you, because that's the full. I can see, I can move, I can do it, because I want it to come from hospitality. Yeah. I feel like that would be the right robot to come
exactly.
through.
Yeah, we actually fine-tune a model that's very high EQ, right? Very empathetic, very kind, right? Not offensive. That's actually, the first research project we did last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so I want to know about how it all gets tied together. Because I think I talk to people that do the voice side of things. I talk to people that do the computer vision, the data analytics. How does it all get tied together?
Yeah. So we're still a young company, but we have a very ambitious product roadmap, right? You will see more and more product coming out of Polona toward the end of 2025, and also full product roadmap for 2026. So we have a more mature product, which is the voice AI that can take orders, make reservations, dispatch delivery, and answer any questions about allergen, about the origin story. If I know you're friends with Sean Warshaff, we replicated his voice. I've listened to a lot of the calls for quality control purposes.
Because that's what we all need. We need to hear Sean's voice more.
People are having fun talking with him, right?
Yeah,
because it sounds just like him. So in terms of hospitality, like every touch point matters, every interaction matters, right? And then it's backed by, very deep science on getting the order accuracy correct, right? We have the highest benchmark in the industry on the order accuracy, right? So you don't, create issues for the restaurants. And then have these capabilities of, entering that order into your POS system, right? And then go remind the customer to pay for the order.
But Maria, so this is the thing that I find so confounding. I hear of voice AI companies left and right in this industry.
Yeah.
How do you come in and in a year have the highest accuracy percentage and you're cloning voices on top of it?
Yeah. Yeah, and also integrated with so many POSs and the other
isn't that wonderful?
Systems. Yes,
with all completely different data structures and 100 different ways to title every menu item.
We actually have a team led by Shuo, and a very, very senior engineer. He was at Meta for years. The level of integrations, the level of complexity in the whole ecosystem, right? You have to kind of overcome that to succeed and to really be part of the workflow and deliver the tangible business value.
He's like, where's the data lake that I tie into? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, there's not a data lake, it's an API. It's like, where's the documentation? Well, they don't really have documentation, so you're gonna have to figure that out too. Yeah.
But I think we figured out a lot, and we're continuing to figuring out. Going back to how it tied together, part of it is our own product roadmap. We started with voice. We're releasing vision later this year. We also announced the catering manager product, right? That is a multi-step, multi-touch point, AI kind of professional to be a member on your team to help you with all of this, complex, large orders with kind of like a 17-step process, right? From answering the inquiry, give them the estimate, customize, collect deposits to inform everybody, let the driver deliver, right? And to all the way to check in, follow up, right? The day after the event, right? So now, if you look at under the Polona umbrella, right? Yeah. It starts with a phone call, but then I can also handle private events, catering kind of to business sales process motion. You can have this digital agent to help you with that and drive additional revenue and improve margin. And then on the vision side, we'll do a full product announcement later this year, but just give you a preview here. We're working with some fantastic restaurant operators to pilot this product. Is guest experience, compliance, and SOP and quality consistency. So really can give a restaurant operator the eyes to see the operation, kind of 24/7, and then summarize it, synthesize it, create events, create reminders, create dashboards, create analytics.
So I'm sure you have in your mind that final system that you're building towards.
Yeah.
what is the common language that ties each of these silos together? The voice to the camera. Is it English? Is it large language models that you're using to tie it together? Or is it Python? How does it all kind of like intersect?
Conceptually, it's the customer journey. I make a phone call, right? And I could be, ordering a couple pizza for dinner for my family, or I could be calling to plan a 50 people, company offsite catering event, right? So it always follows your customer's journey, and then to give the restaurant operator, kind of the ultimate understanding.
I kind of meant on the technical side, right? When I use computer vision, I imagine I get an output. It's reporting on things that are happening. When I go do data analytics, I probably have like a big database or a data lake. If I'm going to go do voice AI, I probably have a bunch of text. How do they all, what's their common language?
So we have a very sophisticated system, right? The architecture design, we call it hub and spoke. Right?
Okay.
So hub is the foundational layer where you have security, safety, scalability, reliability, resilience, and ability to comprehend languages, the ability to comprehend visuals and visions, and so on and so forth, right? That is the hub. And then the spoke are the solutions, right? This is the ordering agent. This is a catering agent. This is the reservation host. This is, the computer vision agent, and so on and so forth, right? So we can build a lot of solutions based out of the hub. And then it's going more technical. We actually have a patent granted that is called the orchestration. So we actually use many different models, and we hold this patent, this layer that orchestrates all the different models.
Yeah, and that's what I'm interested
in. To give you
in.
all of the capabilities. And some of the startups just build a very thin layer on top of ChatGPT. I don't think that is sustainable or a viable business. You cannot provide too much or enough value, very, very small amount of value, and then just very strong dependency with ChatGPT. But what we did is we can pick and choose and optimize, and we do fine tuning as needed, and we leverage the best models from NVIDIA, from Gemini, from OpenAI, from Anthropic, and then we have this orchestration layer that can connect all the dots and then really serve a restaurant owner and operator with everything they need.
So I was having this conversation with Bill Lindsay from Cogswell. They are a back-of-house inventory management system. They're a system of record for the restaurant. And we had this fascinating conversation about how much you would let AI into, the back-end code. Be really nice to say, I want to change the color of this and vibe code the new color change, right? Or change the way I report a menu item. But the flip side of that is like, once I kind of allow AI coding into my back end, I lose a little bit of the assurance that it's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So the language models is called stochastic model. It's non-deterministic.
Yeah.
Versus like a calculator, right? You input to output is deterministic. Yeah. So
I like how you simplified that. We got the calculator model. Perfect.
I want to go back to what you mentioned. You said in the 90s, everybody went to Silicon Valley top tier, right? In 2025, and I've read an article, there's statistics shown the talent centered around AI, right? Because this is the shiny new thing, right? This next generation of developers, researchers, engineers who fully understand this tool, fully understands how to apply it, is more concentrated than ever. It's just in that little corridor, right? In the Silicon Valley, San Francisco, probably like a 30-mile, and everybody's there. And also, I named a few names, just these few companies. And those
are the ones that are public.
The reporter has compared the 90s and 2000, right? The first boom of digitization, and then everything coming online, and then mobile becoming ubiquitous, right? It's more is spread out geographically, but this round of disruption and innovation is super, super, super concentrated, like all happening in Silicon Valley. I was just reading someone tweeting saying, I'm moving to Silicon Valley because I want to do AI. Nothing is happening outside of that little corridor.
All right. You know that world, you know those people. How I can only see what the new Anthropic model is, or the new ChatGPT model. From my understanding, those are maybe years behind what they're really working on today behind closed doors.
Yeah.
How much more advanced is AI, that they've already developed, that we know we're going to get in the next couple of years? Yeah. Tell me about the progression, how you view it.
Yeah, this round of technology advancement is moving at a faster pace than ever. So some of the metrics are ChatGPT came out and hit like 100 million users in no time, and now ChatGPT has over 1 billion users. Has never, and obviously Google, Facebook has 1 billion users, but it took much longer. So the rate of acceleration, both on the innovation side, but also on the adoption side, right? But it created a virtuous cycle, right? Because the more people use it, the better, the smarter, and of course it also gives the conviction, both on the revenue side, also on the investment side. And you've seen the numbers. Yeah. It is crazy, right? It is crazy, the dollar amount that's going into the infrastructure and research. And to answer your question, I don't know what's going to happen next year because I think the rate of acceleration, it's still picking up speed, right? It's moving even faster. It's not yet plateaued.
I've heard a lot of the newer models that they're working on are just models to help train and develop new models.
Of course.
Which is so smart. It is so logical that someone came up with that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I've found really interesting is, in reality, we have all trained AI. It's been trained on our intelligence that we've written down. But I'm watching like my daughter and watching AI start to teach and train her. It's this weird, almost echo chamber.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's all going to play out.
Yeah, it's a new media, right? For people to be creative, right? To create and to express themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you talked about just how quickly it's accelerating. So one of the things, we went to go do, a restaurant co-pilot back in like 2023. One of the biggest problems we had when we were doing it wasn't making it technically work. Actually, it was the restaurants were just like, why would I use a chatbot when you could just give me the answer? But from a technical standpoint, it went from 3 to 3.5 to 4 so quickly.
Yeah. And
how do you think about building a product today in a world that the infrastructure is changing?
Absolutely, that's a great question, and that is both a positive thing, but it also comes with the mandate of the team's agility and the team's infrastructure, right, to keep up with the evolution of the underlying like shifting grounds, right? And that's why we did the multi-modal, so we have the flexibility, right, to adopt a new model. We have the infrastructure, right, to do regression testing, to do guardrails, and so that we know we can introduce a new model without needing to rewrite a bunch of code. But going back to if a startup is just a thin layer around ChatGPT, right, they probably are very fragile and then have to stuck with it. I'm already seeing some of the startups kind of, I can't upgrade to the new model. I have to stay with the older model because I don't have time to catch up and rewrite, all of the middle layer they build in between. Yeah.
And you guys are building all of this internally. You're building it on your own. It's not we're going to be the hub and we're going to work with others for the spoke.
We're building everything on our own. We're integrating into other systems, like Toast and Square and all this existing infrastructure that currently
to get the data and ingest it. But even when you look at something like computer vision, are you thinking of it as like we're going to do this as edge computing, and we're going to have smart cameras that are going to be identifying events and bringing it back into the hub, or is it like a central processing?
Yeah, I don't subscribe to the edge computing and the camera because that was old technology based on the assumption that you don't have bandwidth and you don't have cloud-based compute, right? I think that's 10 years ago, the thesis. I think bandwidth is readily available, and we support any cloud-enabled camera, right? And your camera should be cloud-enabled, and we fetch data from the cloud. Of course, right, you could be in a remote area where you got no internet connectivity, but I'll just give it a couple years and you can adopt later.
Starlink.
Yeah, but exactly, right. But don't build for the past, like assuming you don't have bandwidth. You will have bandwidth. Yeah.
So I love this. It's almost... you almost come across as somebody who said, I want to build the centralized AI system. And somehow restaurants got to be the beneficiary of your experiment. You were experimenting on the industry.
I'm the beneficiary. I can tell you, I ate so many great meals at clients' restaurant. I was like, is this work?
Yeah, exactly.
I love this. And you restaurant. We were meeting with them, right, to try to onboard or whatever. They always serve you food. You have to eat, and it's always delicious.
We've got great food. We've got great people.
Also great people.
A lot of data.
Great personality.
Yes.
And so much happiness.
Yeah, it is exactly right. Well, look, I know I'm rooting for you. I think the industry's rooting for you. If we could make this just a little bit easier for restaurant operators.
Yeah, but I want to just add, you said this is a very challenging industry. A lot of people warned me not to enter this industry. And I'm like, oh, you say it's hard? I'm going to do it. I like to do hard things. Yeah. But I have to say, this journey has been in a year. I am so grateful this industry had welcomed Polona and this team with their arms wide open.
It's the hospitality industry.
I know.
Welcome.
So I really think, we love solving hard technology problems. It's very fulfilling. We have patents granted. We want to do hard things. We want to innovate. But on the go-to-market or client side, I have to say this industry, you guys have made it more than easy. You just welcomed us and fed us, and I genuinely made so many great friends, and I'm just fascinated with being part of this industry by extension.
Well, let me just say at the end, when we finally get AGI and it can see and it can smell and it can, think. I sure hope it came from the hospitality industry.
Absolutely.
And I hope it came from you guys. Because
Absolutely.
that's the AGI I want. Well, thank you, Maria.
Thank
it was
you,
great.
Matt.
It was awesome.